I know I had my doubts about watching the show. Finally got around to doing it. Legend of Korra. Let's get into it. How strong is she? If you are familiar with the Avatar series, you know that reincarnation is a theme. You know, when one dies, then the next one is reincarnated with a different personality and etc. But the Avatar states allows them to get all the power and wisdom of all the other avatars and stuff like that, become an unstoppable force. Korra is no exception to this. She is the latest iteration or successor to the legendary Aang I did a video about as well. But let's get right into it. One main noticeable difference about her series that I noticed from Aang's series is that Aang started off only knowing wind, but then worked his way up to learning fire, earth, and all that stuff throughout the series, whereas Korra pretty much knew all the elements except for wind at the beginning of her series, and she had to learn how to master wind and stuff like that. It was kind of like a different journey, kind of like in reverse, sorta. But before I go any farther, thank you all that have donated to the channel. Appreciate it a lot. They kind of got deeper into the true nature of the Avatar stuff, like the mythology in the Legend of Korra, more than the original series, which I got to give it credit for. For example, one could even go as far as saying cosmic beings. Like there was a battle between light and literal dark to keep balance in the world. The Avatar is literally a product of a human soul bonding with Rava, the spirit of light, and it's their duty to promote harmony between the nations of the world, between the physical world and the spirit world. But without Avatar state, she's still powerful, in base with different elements. Pretty quick attack speed with water bending. Makes sense? See what I'm saying? Knocks back folk with a stream of water, like that. Catches water, then catches it and freezes it on them. Literally freezing consistently in combat. Freezing. Decent fighting speed. Deflecting a torpedo, even while underwater. Look at that. Under duress, just creates an ice wall on the spot, like that. Bending water into its pipes. Giant mechs they take on. Too many occasions of just freezing water. Like a rope, like that. See what I'm saying? Probably the best way to fight a mech. Wave of water into the mech, like that. She's even created ice, spikes. It's like she could use the water to fight on, like a water tornado-ish thing. It uses steam like that, kind of like a form of water bending. Ability to walk underwater. Satisfying. And by the way, it does have healing. That's one of the benefits of water bending. Look how she's able to move all this huge wave of water on this giant mech. Now with the Avatar state, everything she can do times crack. Whatever she can do without Avatar state, she can do better in this state. In the Avatar state, she's able to do all this in their clash. Look at all that crater. Able to shoot that. Fighting this annoyingly good airbender guy. If I had to call a bending that people probably would call flashy, it's probably earth bending, because a lot of people like flashy earth weight boulders, stuff being moved. You know what I mean? Made this trimmer like that with earth. Consistently raising stone from the ground, launching folk, tears up offices, just raw power in general. Makes craters, launches this big size boulder and plenty of battle feats. Launches 2 motorcycles with pillars. Flips a car in the air. She be overriding benders like people that earth bend. She said no. Large boulders get launched like that at this giant mech. Again, launches herself with pillars. Does this to a metal cable in battle. She be earth bending while she's shackled. I'm just saying. She even redirected liquid metal like that. Oh yeah, metal bending. She can literally bend metal. She even bit a metal poison out of her body. Respect the metal bending. She's good at hacking on the heat of the moment, like raising a wall to block during the middle of a blitz. Reaction speed and power, stops this tower from falling. Don't you love it? Raises several boulders like that, at least hundreds of ton boulders like with E. With her earth bending, it seems like she can at least lift several boulders that weighs hundreds of tons at the same time. Like in that case I just showed you, like it was at least 3 of them. Yes, this occasion right here, that she should casually be able to produce over 300 tons of force based on all of them boulders' size. You know what I mean? It only makes sense via earth bending. And that boulder stuff was without Avatar state. Now, if we add in the Avatar state, you know, she can use different elements at the same time, further increase the raw power she can produce with it. Avatar state, launching all of that. Avatar state. All those boulders in them directions. See all that energy she can produce? Blast power. Really with her fires like rocket boots. Notice how she slices this boulder like that. Slams 2 pillars together. Seems to have ridiculous aerial combat. Throws this house-sized boulder in this battlefield, as you can see. Boom. Of course, she has fire bending, like being able to create and manipulate flames, but without the Avatar state at first. Not gonna lie though, fire can be pretty flashy when it wants to be. Blasting apart these wooden panels, for example. Blast a man onto a roof. Can just fill rooms with fire and a kick with fire. Knocks out people with fireballs. Throws through metal chains. Burning. Look at this huge creature. She blasts her way out like that. Fire bends when hands or feet are shackled. She can use her fire to counter other people firing at her. But technically she has fire bending, right? Literally parts a flame, passing through it unharmed, split, and she can run along walls thanks to her flame. Look at that. Jet propulsion type of thing. She shattered an ice wall with the fire. She basically has flight with fire when she can propel herself like I showed earlier, like but with the avatar state, she can create like a wave of fire, a pillar of fire that busts through ice, tears through the dark spirit like that, burns this thing that was battling with light. She melts huge chunks of ice in an instant. She uses this to counter water attacks with fire, propelling herself with fire, kind of like flight. It's almost like what do they need the flying bison for? And don't let me get on her airbending. With no avatar state, to literally be able to make tornadoes like that, catching them with a tornado like such. She's a big fan of making miniature tornadoes. I respect the tornado. KOs folk with a blast of air kick. Blast! Even with a metal shield, get blasted back. With no avatar state, push back this giant mag. Blast power. Break stones with air. Get pushed back. She even used air as defense, like protecting folks against this bomb. Like that. Look how big that was. Air shield, epic. Blocking metal strips, fighting speed, catching them with the wind, or bubble around her friends to cushion the fall. Small air current, can air bend even while being blood bended, so this is actually respect. Now when it comes to the avatar state, she makes like this large air blade, push back a group of spirits with an air wave that large. As you can see, trap beings in vortexes where they just can't do nothing. All the other elements put together in avatar state, like trapping this spirit in all the elements, fire and earth, enhancing her speed and blows. Yes, you heard that correctly. She can use all the elements at the same time in this avatar state. Mathematically speaking, if she can produce over 300 tons of force or using only one element without an avatar state, imagine using all those elements with the avatar state. That would mean 300 tons of force times 4 to really get an idea of her max. And that's still lowballing when I show you it rest. There's a good chance in her base she can produce thousands of tons of force without the avatar state in base. She lifts 300 tons and produces that level of energy without even trying that hard in base without avatar state. She's not fair to play like air scooter with these kids. Avatar state is not fair to do this in. Can even propel herself on a tornado to avoid attacks. Respect it. Physical attributes is not what they shine in, but she can throw really hard. Just straight physicals can kick that hard. Throwing folk through windows. Uses a scarf to throw this man. The skill. She fought 2 benders like this. Look at the rope skills, combat. She got skills fighting wise. Respect her. Look at that. She lifts up Tenzin and these kids in a hug, just showing her strength. The legendary avatar son right there. Lifts them up like that with one arm. Avatar state though. Breaks chains made of platinum. Avatar state. Overall more powerful. Use these chains to pull this dude out of the air. Strength. Avatar slam. Boom. Look at that. Look at the kick. Lifts him in the air like that. Flipping folks with her leg. Tripping folks in mid-air. Look at that. She withstood Vatum's beam. Beams that can shatter stone like that. Creating gashes in the ground. She's not afraid to show off her fighting speed. Not afraid to evade or dodge in intense situations. Dark Spirit. This Dark Spirit moved like a blur. See that? This Mecha Tank Hunk, for example, she's just dodging that, avoiding attacks. Here, agility. She also has a number of spirit abilities, like being able to restore people's bending. There was literally this arc of this one character taking away people's bending abilities. She's able to restore them back. Energy manipulation type stuff. Aang can nullify the effects of blood bending with avatar state. Should apply for Korra as well because she's the successor. Aang can go in avatar state. This is a prime Aang, as you can see. She can use divines to locate somebody she loves. Spirit type of abilities. Respect it. She can enter the spirit world by meditating, just like that. The spirit world and the human world used to be one. Doing so, she can just kind of move rapidly through the spirit world like it ain't nothing. She can pacify dark spirits by using like this special water bending technique. One can say spiritual water bending, like look at the like gold and stuff. To really get an idea of how strong she is in her avatar state, how much force can she produce, well, she was able to counter something that could level a city, a literal beam that she countered with avatar state, she can counter with this much power. I'm gonna let this speak for yourself. This large beam, look at that, deflecting it. She accidentally made a new portal to the spirit world doing this. Look at the destructive capacity of this beam, y'all. This beam was able to decimate a piece of a mountain. And look at the radius of that. So it kind of proves that all that is getting wiped. Talking about raw power Korra can reproduce. She even has a spirit form when an event happens once every 10,000 years. She was using the energy from the harmonic convergent. It was to protect her spirit form from her body as a giant. Korra was disconnected from Rava at the time, flying fast through the sky, crashing to this ultra spirit like that in the battlefield, shooting beams of water from her chest. This kind of gives you an idea of how strong she's in her avatar state. One could say, boom, overpowers this being. Doing so, look at that. See what I mean? Catches the tentacles, knees in the face. She's like building size here. Throws them, jump really far, boom. pierces his chest with her hand like that. Rava was trapped inside this such being. That's why it was getting so powered up. Had to pull Rava back out. This other spirit form water bending technique that I showed earlier, but on drugs. Do this to this spirit being finally get the W. Her presence drives away darker spirits though. So that's kind of cool. Gotta respect it. What's her limits? Well, if we're going to be technical, anything Aang should do, she should technically be able to do too, because she's like a literal reincarnation of a predecessor. You know what I mean? Remember what Aang can do when it comes to raw fighting speed. She should have fighting speed on the level of at least a young Aang who can react to lightning, which means if something was coming at her at 224,000 miles per hour, she should be able to react to it with no problem, meaning that bullets would be moving in slow motion when it comes to her fighting speed. Now, when it comes to her avatar state and her maximum blast power potential, you got to kind of get an idea of how strong she is based on the previous reincarnation of the avatar. You can get an idea of what she can do based on what they can do. Whatever she can do, she should be able to do too, because she's literally a reincarnation of them. Like, avatars in general can throw large land masses around. Avatars, for example, like Kyoshi in avatar state can literally split mountains or islands in half and split them apart like that, then blast them apart with that much raw power in that landmass. This is consistent, so Korra should be able to blast a city apart or two, due to the fact we know Korra can do all that stuff from the previous avatar, especially in the giant state fighting the giant literal spirits themselves, having a spirit like Rava in her. Rava is the spirit of light and peace, and fused with the very first avatar, as you can see here, Wan, being one of the oldest spirits, existing over 10,000 lifetimes before the appearance of the first human, and etc. This being known as Rava was internal conflict with Vatu, the spirit of darkness and chaos. The light and the darkness was fighting for control for years and years through their existence. They can never fully vanquish each other because they kind of are cosmic aspects that kind of balance each other. You know what I'm saying? One could kill each other, but it would just cause them to be reborn. Just a little bit of darkness in somebody could just resurrect them. You can never truly get rid of something. You know what I'm saying? It's a balancing concept thing. But this is kind of some cosmic lore on why the avatars got started and how they're getting reincarnated over and over again through the different lifetimes to bring peace through the world. Aang is one of the legendary ones, and now Korra too. But for the most part, guys, that's just about going to do it. Respect Korra. She can blast away cities or twos in Avatar stage. She can use all the elements at the same time, similar to Aang. She has some decent physical strength, using her attacks in her feet in different ways. She can bend just out of nowhere, being able to react to lightning, because she should be competent to other beings in this universe that can react to lightning. So she should not be a million times slower, or it wouldn't make sense on why she's able to combat these people. She's got decent fighting skills on top of it, even times taking out benders when she's not even bending. Respect it. Even able to resist being blood bent, and the fact that she can go avatar state to resist being blood bent even well, restoring people's bending skills if they're removed, spirit type of stuff, being able to go into the spirit world at will, and be able to remove her spirit from her body to be like a giant avatar harmonic thingy. You know what I'm saying? How strong do you think she is? Did you learn anything new? Did you watch Legend of Korra? I do not regret watching Legend of Korra. I do think it was getting too much hate when I finally saw it. It was very solid. Enjoyed it. Some of the fight scenes and the animation was pretty top of the line, I will admit. But I'll see you guys later. Respect Korra. But at the same time, I don't know if I like it better than the original Avatar though. But you know, but I'll see you guys later.